You're listening to the SEO Mindset podcast. Now, we are not your typical how to do SEO podcast. No, we are not. With the help of our guests, we cover those all-important topics around career development, personal growth, and mental health for those working in the SEO industry. You got to be working on your own internal algorithm. Like what we did there. So if you like the sound of our podcast and you think this is a bit of me, shall we crack on with this week's episode?
Hello, it's Tazmin here, and today we are going back into the archives of our previous episodes and share some new insights. So today's episode that we're revisiting is called Setting Yourself Up for Success Part 2. And in that episode, we explored how to create space in your life to perform at your best, stay focused, and really keep motivated. But I'm the first to admit, despite the best of intentions, my plan never goes completely to plan because life happens, right? And that's where plans quietly start falling apart. Now, if you've experienced something like that, then let's explore around what you can do in that situation. So look, most people don't fail to plan, and it's not that they didn't plan well, but the thing is that they've planned where things only happen at that speed, at that capacity, when they're at full capacity. And often we're not. Life gets intense, work gets heavy, somebody might fall ill, energy dips, sometimes you're just tired. And suddenly that plan, which you thought was perfect, feels impossible. So I want to look at a few ways that you can still feel that you're making progress, even if that's what's happened. All right. So one way is ask yourself, even though I don't have all of that capacity, rather than saying I'm not going to do anything, what can you do that's the bare minimum of your plan? Maybe you had a task that you were going to spend an hour on. You say, okay, maybe I just spend 10 minutes on that. Maybe you were going to create a full piece of content. Instead, maybe just do the framework. Maybe just read one page. Whatever it is that your goal is, just do one part of it. And another thing I want to suggest, which is sort of adjacent to it, it's all connected. What is the one action that keeps me connected to the goal? So if you've got a goal of going for an hour's walk every day and you're not able to do the full hour that day for whatever reason, could you do 10 minutes? Now, I know we often hear these examples, but it is actually so important because you're still going to go out, you're still going to get the benefits of being outdoors, have the fresh air, do some movement, and that's just going to make you feel more motivated to do all of the other things. Or sometimes if I need to, for example, create a whole slide deck, and I'm not in that space to be able to do it, I ask myself, okay, can I create the framework? Can I just do the outline of the talk that I'm going to do? And that just makes me feel that, okay, I've made some progress. It's actually really important progress. I've worked on it. And what happens is even when I'm not working on it, something in my subconscious, that plan is building, that slide deck is developing. So that's another thing that you can do. And the last tip I want to give you is this. Regardless of what action you take, regardless of how much progress you make, ask yourself, what story are you telling yourself? Because this is so important. That story that you tell yourself can either help you progress or hinder your progress, even more than that hiccup that you've experienced. If the narrative that you're building up in your brain is, I've fallen behind, I'm rubbish at planning, I've ruined the flow, it's going to make you feel so miserable that even when you have good capacity to do your goal or work on your goal, you're not going to feel like doing it because in your head you've already failed. Instead, say to yourself, it's okay, I've got this under control, I'll start again tomorrow. Or I've taken one step in the right direction. Or whatever it is that you want to say to yourself, say it in a way that is going to be kind to yourself, that is going to make it easier for you to start again. Because all of this stuff that we're trying to do, so don't forget it's hard, whether it is progressing in your career, progressing in your health goals, whatever goals you have, just remind yourself that you can always pick things up later. So if life has interrupted your plan recently, nothing has gone wrong. This is where that real self-trust is built, by adjusting yourself without abandoning yourself. Keep the plan, put some fluidity in it, and just keep moving. Now, on that note, let's listen to How to Set Yourself Up for Success, Part 2, and I am rooting for you.
Hello, Tazmin.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm coming to the end of an ear infection, and I don't want to sound like a broken record because I realize that I say this a lot on our podcast episodes, and I will see a specialist at some point because ear infections are never fun. But yeah, apart from that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. How about yourself?
I'm feeling really good. We've got family over. I'm planting spring bulb lasagnas tomorrow, doing some baking.
You're
Yeah, very,
planting. Hang on. You're planting spring bulb lasagnas.
yes. So that's
What does
where
that
you get your
mean?
plant pot. I shall explain. Look, fountain of knowledge here, fountain of knowledge. This is what happens when you get to my age. You know all of this stuff. Anyway, so you get your plant pot and you put like your gravelly stuff at the bottom for drainage. And then you put the spring bulbs at the bottom layer, the ones that are going to grow the tallest, and the later ones. And then you put some soil, and then you put another layer of ones that are like medium height ones, and then another layer of soil, and then the shorter ones at the top. So the
Oh, so
idea is, I've never done it before, you get lots of flowers for a longer period of time, and they all work height-wise.
and it's called lasagna because of the different
Yeah,
layers that you're doing. I love
yeah,
it. You are a
yeah,
fountain of knowledge. And even more so, because unfortunately, that's not what this episode is about. So,
no,
our episode last week was part 1, and this is part 2 because it was quite a
yes.
big topic for us to cover. So, we're talking about setting yourself up for success in 2025. So, can you just tell our listeners what we covered in part 1?
So in part 1, it was you've set your goals, and we talked about how the goals, the more specific that goal is, the better it is. So vagueness is not good, and we talked about ways that you could get more specific. And then how are you going to make that happen? So what's the strategy underneath it, and what are the actions underneath that? So on, top of my head, for example, if my goal was to improve my nutrition and eat cleaner, then what is the strategy? The strategy would be to remove processed food, to cook more at home, to read the I suppose an action of that would be then to read labels when I'm out grocery shopping, that sort of thing.
Lovely. Wonderful. So that was all in part 1. So that was last
Yeah,
week's episode. So
yeah.
if you want more of that and you haven't listened to that episode yet, we'd recommend checking that one out first because this is part 2. And what is part 2, Tazmin? What are we doing today?
So today is, what, we set these goals and we think, oh, it's a goal, and then it doesn't happen, and then we feel rubbish about ourselves. But the reality is change is hard, right? Change is hard. And actually, as I think about it, one episode that's really good to listen to that we've recorded before is the 3 C's required for change. So how can you set yourself up for success in being able to make the changes that you want to make in your life? So the number one on my list is be excited about that change from the minute you wake up, because imagine you want to increase your visibility and raise your profile and have more speaker engagements in your calendar and progress your career and all of this. And you wake up and you think, oh, same old, same old. Oh, it's a bit gloomy. Oh, I've got to go to work today. Oh, I've actually got to travel into the office. Oh, my lordy. How is that going to make you want to be that new person and do that new thing? It's not, because the current you has got this current life where you speak in that tone, where you talk about your role in that way. But if you want a new life, you need to be a new you. And the more time that you spend being that new you, you'll spend more time doing the actions that new you will be taking, and the more success you'll have. So if I say, oh, I've got to go to, I want to get fitter, I've got to go to the gym, I've got to do this, boring, Tasmin. Come on, get over yourself, Tasmin. But if I woke up and say, oh, this is brilliant, I'm fit and I'm healthy and I'm going to the gym and I'm going to do that workout and I'm then going to do, make it exciting, because that excitement, that joy, that elevation of energy is going to make you more likely to take the actions that you need to take to do and achieve the things you want to achieve.
And can I just interject slightly on this? I completely get that sometimes going to the gym or doing fitness or going out and doing something, again, it's that overwhelming, you don't want to do it because it's cold outside, the weather's not great, and I'm nice and warm. I've got my hoodie on, I've got my snuggly blanket, and I'm not going to leave. Something that I was talking to Tash, my partner, about is anytime that I have gone to the gym or done something for my fitness or health, I have never regretted it. Yeah. So that's another thing that I think in my mind. So I always think, and I don't know if this is going to sound lame, but I always think of future Sarah, help out future Sarah. So actually, yes, current Sarah is lovely and toasty warm. She's got Benny the dog on her lap. She's binging Netflix and she's got a cup of coffee. But what about future Sarah? Like future Sarah, once she's come back from the gym, she's got all those endorphins. She's looking after herself. She's not going to regret it. Just always think of future you is something that I would add to that.
Yeah. So shift your mindset a little bit. It's not about thinking about future you. It's about being future you. So you in your day, you in your day can be current you, but future you wants something else. So you can also be future you in the same day. And the larger percentage of your time that you spend in future you, the more successful you're going to be achieving your goals. So one of the things that I've done in my diary, I've got this task called my magic list. So anytime I see something like, oh, I'd really like to be on BBC Asian Network. There's anyone listening out there who's got links to BBC Asian Network who really want to be on there? Because I used to listen to it so much. But I will have on there, apply to BBC Asian Network. There is another person that I really want to work with, and that link is there. So anytime I have an idea, I put it like future Tazmin wants to be on this and that and doing this and that. And once a week, I go through that list and I just apply, because that's my magic. And actually, the other day I was feeling a little bit deflated. So I treated myself to a whole day of being in Magic Land. I just stayed in my magic. So, and even that name, find ways to feel that energy, feel that excitement. Now, if I had called it outreach list, it wouldn't have felt as exciting as calling it magic list. So use these little tricks to make you feel more excited and happy and energized to do those things. So that's number one. Number two is create space. So look at what is draining your time. And in the workspace, we often hear about making, synergizing things, making efficiencies, systemizing it. Do the same thing at home. Think about one thing that was draining my time was, oh, what should I make for dinner? And then I wouldn't have the ingredients. And then I would just like spend so much time. However, and we've talked about this, meal plan on a Friday, do an online shop of the ingredients you need on the Saturday, let it all arrive on the Sunday, and you're set. So you're not going to have to think about all of that nonsense for like 2 hours each day.
So that's always a good example of your food shopping, but I've got a more work related example, and something that I found was, so I need to, because I'm very, very appreciative of the work, like all the projects and all the stuff that I've got going on, but it does mean that I need to work as efficiently as I can. So something that I was finding was I used to plan my week on the Monday, but that slowly, because once I'd like checked all my messages, all my emails, I sat down and like did all my planning and stuff. I was looking at the time and I'd already wasted like half a day, like most, or like even more so, like it was going into about like 2-3 o'clock. And I just thought, surely I can set myself up better. And something that I did, or something that I try and do, I don't always do it because it all depends on what I'm doing, but I try on Sunday just putting some time aside and planning my week there, because then I can be the most efficient. I can be most efficient for all my week. And also I'm getting better at like checking messages and emails, because I don't need to be looking at that as much. But there have been things that I have been implementing to make my time more efficient, or to make the most use out of my time.
Yeah, definitely. So there's lots of, you just look at what is draining you day in, day out, and ask yourself, do I actually want to do that? Ironing bed sheets. I mean, I love ironing my bed sheets, but really, if we've got a house full of guests, maybe I can let that slip. Nobody else cares really.
Tazmin,
So
I
yeah.
have never ironed bed sheets.
Oh, the joy of but having an evening shower, getting into newly washed pajamas and getting into a newly washed bed sheets and iron sheets. It's bliss.
Yes, you've sold it me. You have sold it me.
Okay, so let's leave that aside. But yeah, so create space is what I'm saying. Don't let that brainy stuff get in the way between you and your goals. Number three is remove the need of feeling like it before you do the thing. I don't feel like it. Yeah, but you've probably worked in an organization all day and you haven't felt like it, but you did the work. So do the work for you. If this is something extracurricular that you're working on, don't wait till you feel like it, because I've done it. I feel tired, so I'm going to scroll for a bit. I've had a bad day, so I'm just going to watch Netflix. But what is that lack of mood costing you? I'm tired, but I will still go and read. I mean, I'm not saying that this is what I do every time, but if you can say to yourself, yes, I've had a bad day, but actually I'm going to go and work on that thing that's really important to me, and not Netflix. Because what is Netflix going to give you? Is it going to help you get to your goal? Not saying never watch Netflix, not saying never scroll, but if you are associating mood with acting on your goals, what if you're never in the mood?
Yes, definitely. And it's really hard, isn't it? And I think this is a bit like habit setting or change of mindset, because obviously when you aren't feeling in the mood and you're struggling, of course you just want to sit and scroll on Instagram or binge on Netflix or do the stuff that is comfort, but it doesn't necessarily help you. And like you say, we're not saying don't ever do it, but just cap it. Because what I get into the habit of is, like, you don't just watch one episode on Netflix, you binge it, and then before you know it's midnight and you wanted to go to bed at 10 o'clock. So try and just put some, like, be a bit more disciplined. Be like, okay, I am going to watch something, but I also want to read a book, or I want to do a bit of research into this area, or I want to like connect or try and reach out to these kind of people. So be a bit more disciplined maybe as well.
Watch Netflix because you want to watch Netflix, and work on your goals because you want to work on your goals. Don't watch Netflix because you're tired. That's the worst time to do it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I know this is a huge topic, but that's in essence, don't wait to feel motivated to work on your goals. Sarah, I've got lots more to share with you, but perhaps we do it after the break.
That sounds like a plan. Give our listeners time to digest the information. Do you want to tease what's coming up in part 2?
Well, the next point is going to help you with the point that we just talked about.
Oh, so you got to come back. You got to come back for part 2, otherwise you're going to miss out. Let's all take a short break, digest, have a little drink. Don't go to Netflix. Don't go doom scrolling, but join us right back.
Hi, Tazmin here. Are you looking to take your career to the next level? Be more visible, earn more, but also take care of your well-being and have work-life harmony? Well, I can help you because I'm offering you a free 30-minute consultancy call. Together we can go through where you want to be and how to get there. Simply click on the link in the show notes, fill in a form, and I'll get back to you.
Sarah here, and I hope you don't mind if I quickly borrow you. Are you enjoying the podcast? Do you like what me and Tazmin are doing? If yes, why not support us? For the same price as a Starbucks, Costa, or your favourite local coffee shop coffee, you can give us a one-off tip or a monthly donation. If you fancy doing that, follow the link in the show notes. You can also follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn and Instagram. Just search the SEO Mindset podcast and let us know how we're doing. Connect with us, chat to us, and also get more tips and advice.
Right, so Sarah, are you ready for the next point?
I am. I feel energized. I loved your first 3 points. Is that right? Is that my counting? Yeah. And I'm ready. You've primed me for the next one.
Okay, so the last one was remove the need for motivation. The next one is about making the right choice for you, and actually making the right choice for you only takes a split second. So let me explain. You know that I like going for walks, and I like going for walks around the lake. Now, I could go for 1 round or I could go for 2 rounds. By going for 2 rounds, I've doubled the number of steps that I'm going to take, but it doesn't take double the time to make that choice. It takes 1 second to make the choice. And the second is there is a turning. I can either go straight and I end up going around the lake again, or I can go left and I head off home. That second will determine whether I'm going to have 1 lot of exercise or double the exercise. So even when you've finished work and you think, oh, should I watch Netflix or should I go to the gym? The decision takes a second. And I'm either going to go upstairs into my room and change into my gym clothes. Once you've done that, then you're going to the gym. Then you're not going to say, oh, actually, I'm in my gym clothes now. I'm just going to watch Netflix. Just not going to do it. You will go. So make the right choices for you and recognize that that choice is that split second. And how are you going to make it easier for you to make that right choice for you? So it could be right from in the morning, okay, I'm going to work my day, and then here is the book that I'm going to read, and here's the notebook that I'm going to write my notes in, and it's there, it's visible. Or
So
you're putting your gym clothes out or whatever.
yeah, and to relate it a bit more to like SEO or a bit more of that industry, maybe the split second is, I don't know, you've been given the opportunity to go to a conference, or you've been given the opportunity to speak at a conference, or your manager or your boss has given you the opportunity to take on a responsibility, maybe to lead a project, to lead a client project. Like, it is so true, because if I look back on the experiences and opportunities I've had, they've come about in a split second because someone has come to me and asked me. And obviously, some things you probably have to think a little bit about. I don't know, like if it's a big commitment, like obviously we're talking about like the easy stuff, isn't it? Like, so watching Netflix over going to the gym, or cutting your walk short or going for longer, that's an easier one. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Can it
so,
still be with a bigger decision, or?
well, this isn't about decisions. This is about, so you've set your goal. So, okay, I'll use your example. You've set your goal, you want to be more visible. How am I going to be more visible? Okay, I'm going to pitch for that talk. Now, pitching for the talk can be hard. It can be confusing. It can be, you could be feeling nervous about it. So you finish your day and you know you've still got time to pitch for that talk, and you're tired and you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Whereas if it's there in front of you, it's easier for you to say, you know what, I'm just going to at least make a start on it. Or supposing your pitch has been accepted and now you're working on your slide deck. And it's easy to then procrastinate because it's something new, it's something unfamiliar, and unfamiliar doesn't mean bad, and you don't want to do it. And then suddenly you're feeling tired and Netflix is really appealing. But you also know if you don't work on your slide deck, you're going to feel less confident about doing the actual talk. So it's those sorts of decisions. So spending an hour on your slide deck versus watching another hour of Netflix, the decision is 2 seconds. But once you know that once you start working on it, you're going to
Okay,
be
yeah,
fine.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
So the next one, and it's sort of linked to this as well, acknowledge when you are most productive, when you're most creative, and work in a way that is good for you. So I know that in the morning, that's when I'm feeling most creative. So if I'm going to plan one of these podcasts, whether I'm going to work on a slide deck or work on a newsletter, it's better for me to do it in the early hours of the day rather than at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's an admin job that I'm happier to do then. So really acknowledge when you're most productive and set yourself up for success. So go to bed 20 minutes earlier, wake up 20 minutes earlier,
So
and do that productive work then.
So you might be, because I'm just thinking. So for some people, it's going to be really obvious to them, like, oh, I'm more creative in the morning, or I'm more creative in the evening. But maybe, just to add on to this point, that it isn't consistent for you, because I find that like it's not consistent for me. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's the morning, sometimes it's lunchtime, sometimes it's the evening. For me, it depends on what headspace I'm in. But I suppose you still need that flexibility. So when I know that I'm in a good space, or like I'm really creative, or I'm just doing stuff, then that's when I should, if I'm doing something that's more admin and something that's less creative, then I can switch my roles.
Yeah,
So yeah, just thinking of another way of tackling that.
yeah. And a lot of it is, self-awareness. The more you know yourself, the more you understand how you work best, the more you're going to be able to put things in place for you to help you succeed. So, for me, I don't like clutter. And I know that when I'm in a cluttered space, and that's one of the things that we really need to sort out in our office, I know that I work better when I'm writing. And that's why I have not one, but two whiteboards near me. So anytime I think of something, I'll just scribble something down. So really understand what helps you be more productive. Are you somebody who likes to, send yourself voice notes while you're out and about and you think of something, just capture that. My next point is, and we'll come to the last two. One is a no-brainer, but I have to keep on saying it. Fuel yourself. Your physical and mental health is what's going to fuel your progression in your goals. So skipping lunch is not going to help. Skipping your exercise is not going to help. And I say this as somebody who has witnessed firsthand what it does to my productivity when I do those things, because I'm not more productive. I'm actually less productive. And it's a hard lesson to learn. And that's probably why I'm telling everybody else, because I'm also telling myself. Tazmin, it doesn't work. It works for short term, but not long term. And number 7, something that you and I say time and time again, but I'm going to add to it. Celebrate yourself every single day, because maybe this is something we can say every now and then. A win a day keeps the imposter away.
I love that. Did you come up with that?
Well, I mean, it's hard, is it? It's not like I've written some beautiful poem.
Hang on, don't dismiss my compliment there, Tazmin.
Okay.
I
Yes,
appreciate,
I did, Sarah. I came up with
because you've taken an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you've changed it, which is smart, and I like it. Repeat it again, just so people.
A win a day keeps the imposter away.
Yes, remember that, folks. That's the new mantra of the podcast. A win a day keeps the imposter away.
Okay, and I'll explain what I mean about that. Supposing you're starting on this journey and you say to yourself, I want to increase my visibility in the world of SEO this year. And you have a certain image of what you are and where you are. And you will never be able to outperform that self-image. Right. Day 1, you learn something new. Day 2, you do some outreach. Day 3, you comment on someone's post. You're taking all of these actions, and then you are progressing, and you're suddenly at a conference and you're thinking, oh no, what am I doing there? I feel like I'm an imposter. Some of that could be because you've not updated your internal CV. You've not said, day 1, oh, I've learnt this new thing. I'm actually an updated version of who I was yesterday. Oh, day 2, I did this outreach. I need to update my internal CV. Day 3, I have done whatever. I can't remember what I said a few seconds ago. So every day you are updating yourself. You are updating your skill set. You're updating your profile. You've done so many things. And if you make a point of updating your mental CV with all of the stuff that you're doing, when you're at that conference, you're going to feel less of an imposter, or not feel like, no imposter syndrome at all, because you have updated yourself. And the thought came to me the other day when you and I were speaking, and I said, oh, you're a podcast queen and I'm the amateur. And you said, Tazmin, you have recorded so many episodes and you have interviewed guests. You're not an amateur. I thought,
can I just add as well? You're a live podcaster as well. Not only have you recorded, I was going to swear then, but I won't, a substantial number of podcasts. You've interviewed lots of people, but you've done it in front of a live audience. Like,
and with ease.
With ease. There's me flapping beforehand, like, oh, and Tazmin just gracefully No, I don't think do I flap? Maybe I flap sometimes. I
No, you
don't
don't.
know.
Just put a little bit of seriousness in this. People who are listening to the podcast want to, thrive in their career. They want to thrive in their lives, and they are high achieving, hard working. They do a lot of good stuff. So for the love of everything that you hold sacred, please, please, please make 2025 the year that you start celebrating and acknowledging all of the progress you make every single day. Because at night time, then when you go to sleep, that's what's going to be written into your subconscious, and that is going to help you achieve the things that you want to achieve.
I've just thought, Tazmin, because you've already talked about, I'm just trying to find it now. You've already talked about the 3 C's you need for change, and listen to that episode. So that will be in the show notes. But we've also got the celebrating your wins, no matter how small. So
Yeah, and
that will
actually,
be in the show notes.
yeah. And also, I spoke to Roxana about self-belief, and that can also go in there. So
Oh,
that's a
gosh.
really great episode.
Yes, you give me work to do back here. So reminder of those episodes. Then you've got part 1 of this topic, celebrating your small wins, the one that we did last week. And if you want more listening, if you want to listen to more, go and check out the 3 C's you need for change, celebrating your wins, and self-belief with Roxana. So all of them.
That's in season 1, way back when in season 1.
Back when the podcast was in its infant stages. So all of those episodes are in the show notes. So go and check that out, please.
So that brings me to the end of this episode, Sarah.
That's sad. That's sad. I was really enjoying this episode. Don't tell me it has to end.
Well, if you want more information, you know what to do.
I mean, it's really hard to have one main takeaway, because all the things that you said are really helpful in having success. What would you say? Sorry to spin the question back, but what would you say was the main takeaway?
I would say the first and the last. Be excited about future you, and be future you as much as possible, and celebrate yourself.
Yeah, because actually that is a bit of a thinking point for me, because I used to always I already had the think of future Sarah, and that's just more so when you've cooked dinner, you've got a load of pots and you're like, let's just sleep on it and deal with it tomorrow. But then I'm always like, future morning Sarah won't be happy. But actually it's about being that future. So that's the step up for me, like not just thinking about future Sarah, but being future Sarah. Yeah. And another main takeaway is, well, you've got to say it again, a win a day keeps the imposter away. And actually it's going to take some training, because it's so easy if we're feeling down, if we're feeling tired, if we're feeling a certain way, like if it's an illness or if you really feel in a certain way, you do need to rest. So we will always say that. But if you're physically okay and it's just a bit of tiredness, or you feel frustrated from the day, don't go into your Netflix or your doom scrolling. Go to your wins, find something that you can do. And it doesn't have to be big. Like, even if instead of watching like an episode, or instead of doom scrolling, if you read a page or you made a connection with one person that you needed to, that's still a win. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Excellent. So that really is the end of the episode now, Sarah.
Are you wrapping us up in a nice little bow?
Gosh, can't do bows. Anyway, look, I hope everyone's enjoyed this, and if you're enjoying the content that Sarah and I are putting together for you, and all of this, all of the stuff that we talk about, a quick reminder of how you can support us. There is the Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes, which we always appreciate. And the second one is, and in all seriousness, each of these points I will be expanding in the newsletter starting in February. So sign up, and I will be going into each of these topics. Don't want anyone to miss out.
And just a reminder, how you sign up to the newsletter is going to the show notes. So always check out our show notes, because we always put in useful resources, links, anything that we've spoken about, previous episodes that are relevant. So always go and check out our show notes, because there's some really good stuff in there. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has already bought us a coffee. Very appreciative. I think we've even had a couple of people give us more than one coffee, which is lovely.
I know.
Buzzing off the caffeine, won't we? So thank you, Tazmin. That was a cracking episode. And
Thank you.
the only thing left to say is goodbye. Take care of yourselves, and until next time.
Take care, everyone.